Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Lips. It's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and this is the Miss Mouthy podcast. If you're tuning in as a returning set of lips, hey, y'all. Thank you for coming to pop your shit with your girl week after week. I am so thankful that y'all are here. And if you're a new set of lips, welcome. This podcast is all about the narratives and experience of trans and non binary people of color. Specifically, this season, in season three, we're focusing on Blackness and our allies that love and support us. And so this has been a beautiful, beautiful journey. We are now in December, y'all. Yesterday we had celebrated World's AIDS Day. So I just do want to do my due deals and very much honor people who we have lost behind this epidemic. So we're going to take a moment of silence. Okay, yes. So hopefully you and your organization or the people around you have started some tradition in order to honor the people who we've lost, but also how do we debunk the stigma that comes with HIV/AIDS? Hey, everybody that's joining. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Shay Shay. It is so good to see you all. I am so thankful. I apologize. I'll take self accountability. I apologize for coming on late, but I thank y'all for tuning in and being here this week. Um, if y'all know now, our format has changed a little bit. We are currently bi weekly. So every other week, I will come on here on Friday and I'll be giving y'all a great conversation. Hi. Hey, friend. Um, it has just been a journey. So much has happened. I hopefully am nominated for Detroit awards for Detroit favorite podcast. We will know January 5th as the results come out. And what will be. And if they don't see me this year, guess what? They're gonna see me next year. Okay. Um, but no, I am really honored with that. This segment, I don't even have a title for this episode. I guess it's again the Black Joy series. So it's all about Black Joy, and because of Black Trans Fund, I am a grantee. So I decided to center my joy and what's currently bringing me joy as we come into the end of the year, since I think I try and hide behind my guests all the time. It is okay. I'm now in a place where I feel like sharing. I feel like I can be vulnerable. I feel like I can be honest. And so we'll get into a round of questions. And today, y'all, I did bring my favorite little card game y'all know about. The end game. If you have not heard about it, you definitely need to check it out. You can find it on social media. I think I found it on Instagram. And this edition is not like the pink edition I had, which was like the dating one, because I'm not currently dating. This is the self one. So this is the self edition for me to dive deep into myself and for y'all to dive deep in yourself too. But let's get into the questions of currently who what's bringing me joy, who I am, what is my narrative, right? So who am I? I am Raquel Trammell for anybody who don't know, also known as the voice behind the Miss Motley podcast. I am a self-proclaimed artist, visionary, um, and mom. I love wearing a lot of different hats, but lately the artist hat has been taking me by storm. I love being able to create content not only for myself but for other people. I have been really able to imagine things and bring them to life, and it's so beautiful that social media can do that. As well as create a platform that not only helps me express myself and how I show up in the world, but definitely it allows my community to be able to archive their history and all of the work that they do. And that is one of the biggest joys that lately I have been getting out of this podcast. What am I dreaming of? I I am dreaming of liberation for all black folks. And you like, Mouthy, what does that mean? I'm saying that I want us as a people to be liberated in a way of not only financial freedom, but the mental bondage that oftentimes see and experience in my own community. I just kind of want us to be able to do whatever we want to do freely without being a threat to someone else. So, oftentimes in spaces, I hear about all this like racist things that happen, and it's really centered in anti-blackness. And until we start to talk about it, until we start to um, break down and take up space where we don't let people make us feel bad about being black, that that for me is going to be the freedom and liberation for black folks. I'm also dreaming of a place where trans people do not have to live in fear of showing up as their authentic self and pursuing their dreams. I know for me personally, I had shrink myself in order to fit people ideas of me or the limitations that I felt like being a trans woman, a black trans woman could reach. But now I know like the sky's the limit. Like whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do. And whoever don't like it, that's on you not liking it. Just sit over there and watch me keep doing what I need to do. So that's my advice to anybody, not only black and or trans. I think we just need to go after it wholeheartedly and collaborate. What I'm dreaming of is collaborations throughout the nation for all of us to come together and really create some real change, not like temporary change, not the change that we see as people throw money at us, but real change that's like life changing, right? Like it not only transient past you, but the generations after you. Like I want to be able to dream of a thing where youth can come into a space and never even have to disclose their transness because that's not a thing. Like it's not a thing to feel a warning to let somebody know that, hey, I got to tell you this in case you might want to harm me or you feel unsafe or uncomfortable. So that is what I'm currently dreaming of. For myself, I dream of $1 million. I dream of $1 million in my account. Okay. Well, several millions, but I would start at 8 million as my goal. But and a lot of that is just being able to funnel that to my community, right? Like being able to pour in the cities of Detroit, to pour into leadership, to pour into creatives, because the creatives in Detroit is fucking phenomenal, and I just love the direction that the city and the art as a whole in Black culture, how it's shifting. Um, what's bringing me joy as an individual? I don't think y'all know how much Mouthy means to me. Like my platform means a whole lot to me, and it brings me joy because of the comments that I get on an everyday basis. Like I already know I don't have a big fan base, but the lips that fuck with me, y'all are so loyal. Y'all are so loyal and y'all so motivating to a point where because my platform is not messy, because I don't come from a place of like wanting to create trauma and perpetuate violence for other people that is experiencing trauma, I can take my time and just wait until people are hip. They don't see it now, but eventually one day they will. And that brings me so much joy is that I literally created something out of nothing in the height of a pandemic. And to just see it now still growing, still manifesting into something, being able to give money back into my community, to be able to hold space for my community. If y'all don't know, our annual Meals with Mouthy event is coming up on December 16th from 4 to 7. I will drop the location on the flyer a week from now. So yes, please come and be in community. Come get something to eat. When I think of Meals with Mouthy, the creation behind that is about joy. It's about sharing community because we don't have a lot of spaces. A lot of people intentionally want to do work right up until the holidays and then go off and be with their family. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need a break from the work that we do and we all want to disconnect. But if we have people doing things and sitting spaces for us all to come together throughout the year, then that just means a whole lot of Black, trans, queer people have spaces to be able to create memories, get fed, have housing, take showers, get their immediate needs met. And so, if I'm able to use the little resources that I have to be able to set that model for folks to hopefully pick up on, I will do. So, don't think about nothing but bringing you and your appetite and whatever friends you have, and let's just come eat, dance, have a good time. Again, that's December 16th, and that's going to bring me joy. Every time I think back of, especially this year, every time I think back of how I was made fun of being a just great soul, a giver, a good girl, as they say, look at what that's been able to manifest. That's been able to take care of my people and know that they safe. That is being able to connect with people on a whole different level that recognize, oh, she actually is a free-hearted person. And this is what you're supposed to feel like in community. This is what you're supposed to feel like in leadership. It's not always about a read. I feel like it's a time and a place for it. But for the most times when people have been done wrong so much, sometimes they feel good for them to just know they can come somewhere and get a hug. They can come somewhere and get a meal. And so that for me is the biggest thing with recognizing that I may not be like a lot of other people, but the space that I create and what I show up is needed. It's needed for us to be kind and have more humility for each other in the work that we do. And not even just the work, because you don't even necessarily have to do this work. So let me take that abolitionist hat off. When you just a person walking in the earth, every time you come in contact with somebody, try to show your human nature and just trying to connect with them and have a little grace. Have a little grace for the things that you don't know somebody else has been through. Um, so boom, again, I said the name of my um thing is Miss Mouthy Podcast. I got that name because I originally, y'all, it was about to be called some shit like Miss Loose Lips. I think that was the first name I was debating on when I was going through trying to when I really decided that my gift was how I express myself when I talk. I was like, "Oh, Imma start Imma start a" at the time, I didn't know it was called a podcast, but I was like, "Imma get on the radio one day, and it's just gonna that's just gonna be my thing." And I was like, "My name is gonna be Miss Loose Lips," and I'm so glad I did not go with that name. Um, but yeah, Miss Mouthy, it was just kinda like 2 things, like, I'm one of those people that when life give me lemons, I'm definitely making lemonade. When people give me nasty comments or something that like may have rubbed me the wrong way, I make the most of it. And so I end up people kept talking about my lips and I was just like, oh, just irritating. And I just use lips with mouthy and that's just kind of how I go with that. But also in my I wouldn't be nothing without my team. Like I have a dope ass photographer. I have a dope ass videographer. The people here in the studio is amazing. Like all of those intricate things, even my sponsorship with BTF, like all of those things go into making me who I am. And so like that is important. Get you some dope ass people that's local. Get you some people that you know y'all are all starting from this entry level and you can rack it up. You can do your thing and that way you know that you setting a foundation for loyalty because that's what's going to be important when you are a creative. You want to be surrounded with loyal people who genuinely want you to win, see you in your vision and your creativity and want you to go to the next level. What's bringing me my individual joy? No, I don't think that's that. All right. How does my work support Black trans joy and liberation? I think it's really important because I didn't know if I was ever going, I didn't know doing this could actually bring money into the situation. I've seen other people, but you got to have thousands of followers. You got to be known by somebody, right? Like, what is the odds that just a girl from Detroit that said she gonna do it actually did it, right? But to every year in July to give away $5,000 to people for no particular reason, that is joy for me. I don't need to know what you're going to do it for. I don't need you to write me no long essay. I don't need you. All I need you to do is be a lips. I just need you to tune in every now and then and be like, oh, okay, I like her podcast. Or even if you don't, I check the bitch out and da 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 da. But when July come, know that she about to give out that money because it's something that I feel like we see our community members struggling and versus trying to offer anything. I'm not saying you got to let a stranger in your house. I'm not saying none of that, but sometimes we be having resources and we hold on to them for ourselves as if there's a shortage, as if we're never going to get it back. In this process of building out Mouthy, I've learned the more I give to people, the more I get back. To want a blessing is to be a blessing is the biggest thing that I say. And if you ever miss that, that is if you're wondering like, oh, why do bad shit keep happening to me? Maybe it's us. Just maybe it's us that you are not offering up something to get something. You know, it's just kind of like being a hoarder. If you hold on to all these things, you can't make room for the new things that's going to come. So you got to give up something to be able to do it. And if you know it's going to just benefit or impact somebody else, great. And this brings me joy to be an example for other girls who want to do this type of work. Don't be afraid of how you look. Don't be afraid of how your voice sounds. Don't be afraid of people opinions of you. Go full out and do what you want to do. Eventually you get better at your craft. You'll find the people who are aligned with you, and simply you show the naysayers that them waiting for you to fail is never going to happen. Like it's just never going to happen. And how do I support um every position? I make it a personal thing of mine for every position that I leave in nonprofit realm to bring a girl up with me. And I just feel like that's a great model to be. Even like, God forbid, if I ever have to leave my own platform, know that some other trans woman is going to be running this channel and supporting this platform in a way that makes sense for me, because I just think it's important to always bring people up as you elevate. The more that you know, I think it's important to pass it to the next person. Um, the state of Black joy right now, it is emerging. It's emerging. When I see other leaders and other Black trans people in other states, I see their joy. I can recognize that. I think that was the biggest thing I was telling Desi when she was on the show, that there be a lot of joyful moments that I see her have that I experience. And it's nothing more than loving joy through somebody else's love, somebody else's experience, and through their eyes. So for me, I think it's emerging. I think we are now, as a people, getting out of the box that's been holding us so long and not being in fear of what people opinions is, or being afraid to just show up. You know, we have models, we have actresses, we are really stepping out in this way that um is revolutionary. Like, and I hope for whatever reason we don't get to a place, and that's why I'm scared with everything that's going on with politics. Like, I do not want the tide to turn to where we start going and hiding again. Like, we're not hiding anymore. People's joy is just in living. Having to be able to be a Black trans woman in today's society and just live as my authentic self. Get it. It's some people who may not like it. They don't understand it. And that's their reality. That has nothing to do with me just living my joyful life. Um and joy look different for everybody, you know. And what does what does it look like for my community? I think I want us to have all the agency, or the biggest thing, I want us to have all the agency over our bodies to make the decisions that we want to. I think oftentimes as a Black trans person, somebody opposes what they feel like should be happening for you, for your autonomy. And I don't rock with that shit. That doesn't feel good, look good. It's corny. And I want us to be in positions of power. I'm so tired of seeing Black trans people walk in organizations and businesses, apply for a job, and get the bare minimum of the entry level position because they decide that they want you to have a certain qualification, they want you to have a certain experience. But if we have been suppressed and oppressed for so long, how do you expect that to happen? And then when things like this happen, where we go out and we build our own platforms, we build our own opportunities, we have a lot of resistance around what that looks like. We have limited amount of support. So I guess that's the thing, is that we all need to have just a Black trans renaissance, and we need to pour into each other, love on each other, and build out with one another. And I don't mean just like build out to say we building out. I mean, like, really pour out past us, past our legacy. Because one thing I'm noticing is that our community, soon as you throw a dollar bill in front of it, it get aggressive. It get mad. People get to fighting over money, and they missed the purpose of why we originally started this anywhere. More money is coming. Know that. More money is coming where the work and the opportunity happens. And you set the bar for yourself. I want $100,000 salaries for all my employees, but I want that for all people who hire folks, especially black folks. If we not talking about reparations, right? If we not talking about giving you your 40 acres and a mule, then they need to pay you to have a very comfortable life. Like, you need to be paid for the oppression that you may face just existing as a black person in work. Okay, showing up in your life. And I feel like it feels good and it feels unapologetic. That's the joy I want. I want unapologetic joy for everybody to be able to just show up as themselves and live whatever life they see for themselves. And honestly, it's a healed one. It's a healed one. I feel like once you can allow yourself to just be free, it's a healed life. It's a soft life. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to live a soft life. Okay, I done been through enough living in trauma, trying to survive. I don't want that. I just want to be in peace. I want to be happy. I want to have my routine, and just pay me my coin. Don't make me have to tap dance in order to get my check. Um, how do you I feel like how you get in communities, the right relationships with black communities, is you got to be real. That's the biggest thing. I think with black people in general, our unspoken language is about authenticity, recognizing like who's real, who fake, who not putting on. And then if what you are is fake and fraudulent, you're gonna find yourself over there with the phonies and the cornies, and that's okay. Y'all have a lane. But I think in real rich relationships, the right relationship for black trans leadership and black trans communities, we have to recognize that people come in broken, people do sex work, people have substance abuse issues, and we got to take all of that with us. Like, we cannot think we gonna move forward with the selective few who look passable, or the ones that um have the culture to be able to code switch. No, we need to take everybody with us. If my sister is still on 6 Mile and Woodward and she hungry, but I decide to pass her up, then I'm not in the right community. Me as Mouthy has got too far where I can't bring her along, or at least give her something to get her through the night. And that for me is like what I see, and that's what I want. Um, with a specific focus on like how many times we gonna keep talking about housing. Like, I didn't left. Well, I'm about to leave my second field now, and like there is still limited, okay, I ain't gonna say none, but it'd be scarce like that, limited housing resources for folks. And I understand there's only so much you can do, but also we haven't broken down or dismantled shit to rebuild it in the right structure. If it was fucked up before it came in the door, why would you not go and fix it? Why would you not go get the tools that's necessary to read the instructions and build it properly? But that's just, that's just me. Um, what is some practices? Oh, come on with these questions. Uh, I feel like a lot of practices is what we deem professional. A lot of people have professionalism rooted in white supremacy and white culture, this elitist thought process, and I hate it. I hate it. It is just, oh, anybody who know me, and I say this because I gave my coworker example. Sometimes in environments of employment, people come into it with thinking that you have to have a level of this is what things look like in order for it to be productive, when honestly that's what it looks like for it to be problematic. The end goal is productivity, okay, not perception. And a lot of work environments get that misconstrued. So what end up happening is, like, for me, one of my things that makes me be productive the most is that I need to have my snacks and I need to have some jam on. It's something about being rooted in blackness and having music playing with me that focus me, or maybe it's my ADHD, maybe how my brain works. I don't know. But what I will say is that when music is on, I can focus. When I'm in silence, I get very uncomfortable. I think it's something wrong. I'm like, so just imagine going into an office. You driving, depending on where your drive is, you're driving all the way to the office. You get there and you realize it's quiet as hell. Every day it's quiet. And if you say something, you're a distraction. Like as a black person too, you're a distraction. Or if you I've also seen this too. If you're in leadership and you have been called for your professionalism or your expertise, and you have a rebuttal and you say, "Hey, actually, I don't want to do it like that. I don't think that people who don't have trans experience should be in charge of trans programming or leadership," right? And you're met with resistance. Now you're aggressive. Now you're problematic. All of these things are posed on you as a black person that really I was objecting like everybody else get the right to like pour into their feedback, as y'all call it, right? I think those are ideas we need to get away from. There's a lot of rooted um anti-blackness and how y'all feel like black people should show up in the workplace. Also people of power, power structures and this hierarchy ideal just really bothers the shit out of me. Like everybody want a title, everybody want to be better than them, and that's when we lose sight of working together and pointing out tasks. I hate a person who just point out tasks. A lot of the reason why I move Mouthy the way I do, or even my events, I have to be at the ground to do everything and make sure it flows in a certain type of way because I don't want anybody yet to ever feel like I look down on them, that I wouldn't do this. Um, and also, I want them to learn how I'm building up to this. So you can't tell somebody to do something and don't give them a model or a blueprint or example. So for me, those be setting people up for failure. Even in the hiring process, y'all want to hire with the idea of like, oh, we need representation. If we get this black trans woman on here, great. Y'all haven't given her the soft skills she needs to be able to keep her job. Yes, she get it, but now she can't maintain it. And she can't tell you, hey, I don't have transportation. She can't tell you, hey, I'm in a DV situation. She can't tell you like, hey, my mental health is struggling today because I don't have my hormone. All of these things, I feel like we don't make room for how people come into the workforce. We expect them to come in from a place of being broken and automatically a week later have the resources needed, have the mentality and the drive to push past that. Like, I think for black trans people, y'all always want us to be resilient. And in a moment, resilience ain't always real when you're going through some real shit. So that's I'm gonna get off that question because that makes me triggered. Triggered. Philanthropy. I feel like we can get away from all those checks and boxes that makes it hard for people to just get access to the money. Um, and I don't feel like there should just be one person in charge of money. I think that's be a lot of things is that when people don't have the checks and balances to check behind them, that's when fraud happens. That's when the stealing happens. That's when you are untouchable. And when there's not a book system for us to revert back to, that's a problem. I don't want to put my name on something if I don't know where the money is being spent. I'm not gonna wait until the feds come and they say, "Well, Miss Mouthy, you have wrote. I didn't write that check, sir. I didn't do it." So we need to just get away from that and put into money to people who back to people who I'm not gonna say who you know really doing the work because how do you measure that? But when you know they're starting from the place of beginning and they're right on the ground, I mean, they right there. I mean, they with the people. Fund them. Fund them. Stop thinking that you have to wait until you see these huge names and these companies that's got $100,000 before you decide to back some money behind them. Them the ones who already done it. And trust me, they work ethic got them there, and it wasn't because they were just integrity and honest. Okay. Um, is there anyone and the other one? Okay. Nope. I'm gonna leave that alone. Hmm. Well, I do want to uplift every every person. Ooh, I don't want to get emotional. So I want to uplift every person who had a dream and never felt like it came true. Um, I recognize that sometimes it's just not your time. It's not that your dream will never happen. Sometimes dreams happen in stages, and I'm gonna give y'all a testimony. Have you ever had a dream where you was like, "Oh damn," you remember the dream vividly. You know what happened. You know how it made you feel, the sound of it, how long it went. Cool. You wake up from it, you can't stop thinking about the dream. But then, let's say 3 months later, you go to sleep and you had that same dream, that exact same dream, the same sequence, the same everything happened. We like to call that deja vu. That's how I feel like our dreams in real life are. It's sometimes you have to take a pause from having that idea or that moment and get yourself right, right? Like right in all the ways, mentally, physically, financially. Stop surrounding yourself with people who want to bring you down when they know you have a dream. I'm talking to somebody, but then your dream come back. And so full circle, I say that to say I had to know that one, I'm the only person who can make my dream come true. When a dream become reality, it's no longer a dream. You live in your life. You live it in your purpose. So recognize that the moment from you dreaming, conceptualizing it, actually bringing it to fruition. And so that's what I'll say. Anybody who have a dream, just keep going for it. And y'all know this is the season of giving. And I definitely wanted to open it up to the people who are doing this work, got some great holiday events coming along. And so we're going to bring in our special guest. Hi, special guest.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much over here thinking about what Black Joy looks like. It
Oh, does it look like me?
does look like you, okay?
Looks like you
Period.
too, right there.
Yeah, whenever you got a smile on your face, that is what Black Joy looks like for me, okay?
Definitely, definitely.
So
I'm glad
tell
I
the
got
people,
here in time.
I'm glad too. Tell the people who you are, what you do.
I do a lot of things. My name's Caleb. I work in luxury sales. I work as a style advisor at Saks.
Period.
I'm also a part of the House of Garcon. I'm also a piece of the firm. The firm is the number
Okay.
one LGBT promotional entity in Detroit, Michigan. Actually, in the Midwest. Actually, we just found that out. We
Okay.
do the number one Saturday night party over at White Star. I've been doing all of this for a lot of years. I wear many hats. You and I met when I
Yes.
originally worked in public health. That's when you
Uh-huh.
and I met and created our bond or whatnot. But I think you brought me on the show today to discuss uh, an initiative that we have going on with the House of Garcon.
Yes.
Right now, we're running two donation drives at Minjo's complex. Well, just Minjo's. We're collecting clothes, and then
Okay.
at White Star on this Saturday, we're going to be doing non-perishable food items. On December 15th, we'll be donating all of the donations collectively to Ruth Ellis Center.
Okay. So for people, non-perishables, canned goods, bring you some canned goods, some things that's not gonna spoil. So no hot,
Rice bologna, something like that, you know.
yeah, nothing that is gonna get an odor if it's not cooked at the time. Okay.
Correct. Easy way to put it.
Okay, per. So one, tell me what is bringing you joy in this moment in this season of your life.
Oh wow. Okay, I put some
Yeah,
check.
you never know. Y'all,
What's bringing me joy? Just the freedom to be me in every room that I walk in,
yes,
and being confident in being me, and knowing that sometimes I walk into rooms with people who are afraid to be them, but they see me and they see my confidence shine through, and they feel like it's okay to be them. And so
yes,
I like being able to be that kind of like beacon of light. Like I got little cousins that are kind of just coming out, and I make things easier for them. And so
yes.
I like that. Like that makes me happy.
Aw, that makes me really happy. And I be getting a little flack because I'm not like connected with the ballroom scene. So I am glad that you
You
are
you
here.
out here, people know who you is,
Yeah,
girl.
they know me on my own individual, but I don't have no real roots to ballroom, right? So it's so good
Understand.
to be able to know that people in ballroom are still like at the forefront of trying to give back in their community, and like talk to them a little bit about why the Garcons started this initiative.
Well, to be honest, the House of Garcon is actually we operate as a ballroom house, but also as a nonprofit entity.
Yeah.
We're doing this collectively nationwide as a house, where we're doing Garcon giving, and so Garcon gives back, and so it's an initiative that we do every year. And so this year, um, we're taking it to Detroit. Our chapter grew a little bit this year in this area, and so we're just taking it and we're going to a place that we know needs our help, a place that we all know good and faithful Ruth Ellis. And
Yeah.
so, you know, that's a place where, you know, we've gotten meals, we've had good times, people have vogued and all of that stuff through there. So it's always important to give back to the same spaces that you've been able to flourish through.
Thank you. Okay, so normally on Mouthy, I love when people come on and they play a game with me. So, do you want
Okay.
to play a game with me?
Come on, let's go.
Okay, let's get deep. Okay. So boom, this show. So you know I ain't cheating. This your card right here. Okay,
Are those tarot cards?
you know what? No, it's a game series
Oh,
that's on Instagram called The and I love this because it one sparks up conversation between people. So whenever I have my friends over, but two, it makes me dive deeper in the different levels of relationships that I have. So whether
okay.
it's this one itself, but I had a dating edition and then I have a friend edition at home. So um
Okay.
yeah. All right. So what's the big picture that you expect um no, I don't. No, I don't like that. Okay, what's the big picture that you suspect is there, but you can barely see clearly? So I guess
I
what
know I got an answer for that.
oh, per. Okay.
Success.
Uh,
Success.
okay.
A lot of times we get in our own way. So many times I doubt myself more than the world does, and I
Mhm.
stop myself from achieving things before I even begin. Like I
Yeah.
talk myself out of it. I'd say, you know, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough money, you don't look good enough. I tell myself all these things before even getting started. So I think I see the big picture. I see myself being successful, but sometimes starting those steps isn't always visible to me.
Okay, you giving a testimony to not only to me, but I'm sure one of the sets of lips that's listening because I feel the same way. And it's so crazy that in this last 6 months, when I like woke out of depression and I just decided like I'ma go for it, like my whole life changed like literally before my eyes.
And it's almost like a thrill. Like it's thrilling, and it builds your confidence because it's like, okay, can't nobody tell me I can't do this because I just did that. And so if you keep that momentum going, then who knows like what you'll be able to achieve.
Hello. I woke up this morning to some good news and blessings. I ain't even gonna
Okay.
lie. Okay. But I want people to recognize that like once you just get started, it's just about taking that first initial step. So whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? Like I remember a point in time where we had a conversation and you was like, I think I want to start DJing. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, I
and look
remember
at
that.
you now. Okay.
Oh
One of
yeah,
the
I
hottest
forgot to
DJs
mention
in
I'm a DJ too. I said I wear a lot of hats.
the
I do some of
period.
everything.
Uh-huh. Oh, that is so great. And let me just give you your roses while you're here. I love what you do. You've always been a great stand up Black guy, not only for myself, but the community. Because for me, you were one of the first male role models that, like, when I thought of safety, I've always thought of you. Like, I've always thought of you and know, like, oh, Caleb, I'm going to always be safe when he around. Period.
Yes.
Period. Yes. So let the people know how they can get in contact with you and bring donations and everything if they need be.
So, oh my gosh, I don't. Let me bring. Can you still see me?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
No,
you can
no,
still.
not really, but
Can
I
you
do
still
know
hear
the
me?
address to Ruth Ellis if you need that.
Well, no, here's the
Okay.
thing. So, we just did donations last night at Minjo's. We'll be doing donations
Mhm.
again on Thursday night, where you get to see me as a DJ and you also get to donate. Minjo's address is 928 West McNichols, Detroit, Michigan. And then on tomorrow, Saturday, I don't know if you guys are familiar with A-List Saturdays, but A-List Saturdays is the number one Saturday night party ran by the firm. I'm also a part of the firm. White Star Nightclub, that's in Hamtramck. That address is 9819 Conant, Hamtramck, Michigan. An easier way for you to get all of this information is to just simply follow me on Facebook. First and last name, Caleb Howard, that's Caleb Howard. or you can follow my Instagram where I share things on there as well. But it's a little bit more work related, but I don't mind. Welcome to my world. It's going to be at Caleb from Fifth. That's Caleb from 5th, as in like Fifth Avenue. So you can follow me there. Also follow the Firm page, the Firm Detroit. If you're
Yeah.
looking to hang out and just want to know what's happening in the city on the LGBT nightclub scene, follow the Firm Detroit. And yeah, those are all the ways to contact me.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I went to the White Star one time and I just had such a good time. I'm picky and choosy about when I actually go out, but I had such an amazing time.
Uh
It was
huh.
the first time that I've been to a venue that I was like, oh, it's enough space. I can
It's a
move.
nightclub. That's the thing. And so we're trying to get, the community acclimated to being in a nightclub versus a bar.
Hmm.
Woodward, good and faithful. RIP to the Woodward. However, the Woodward was a bar.
Yeah.
We gave it a club atmosphere, but it was a bar. And so the difference is White Star is an actual nightclub. And so some people like it, some people don't like it so much. People like what they like. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Okay, period. Okay, that makes me feel really, really good. Thank you so much for what you're doing on the half behalf of yourself and the Garcons. That makes me really happy. I am gonna bring over some perishables. You said tomorrow, so I got y'all. I
Yes.
will meet y'all at Minjo's. Um,
Thank you.
of course, of course. But I do want to have you on when I start doing Mouthy after night. Where we
Okay. Oh,
really mix it
interesting.
up
Like
and
this
all
is
of that.
cool.
Yes,
Cool.
okay, and I'm gonna let the people dive into who you are and all this
Oh,
stuff.
wait.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Um, but thank you again for tuning in today. I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. All right.
Uh,
You have a good one. Hit me up later.
I will.
Bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. So that is something. Make sure that this is what I'm talking about. The example of what joy look like is when we as a community collectively come together. I'm intentional about like anybody who has something going on. I want to highlight this platform is open for you to be a um conduit for your business, your events, the things that you want to highlight. Hell, if you just want to come on here and ask me some advice, I'm here. Okay. I want to be with y'all. I want to grow to y'all. And we going into another year. We going into year 3 and I'm gonna be ready to like that's the Trinity. Okay. So I really gotta show up and show out. But give, give. Even if y'all can give perishables or for whatever reason, give your time, give your energy, give your money. Um, and I'm excited. So check them out. Um, and I'm gonna wrap this thing up with some pearls of wisdom. So, joy, joy, joy. That's what the song it remind me of. But I'm gonna say this for joy. It's a choice. You can choose to be a great person. You can choose the people that's around you. You always have a choice. And the biggest one, you should always choose to be a beacon of light, not only for yourself, but the people around you. It is infectious. One of the things that I think people don't recognize that's my secret little recipe, my little secret sauce is that I am infectious. I am joy. I am light. And I love that about myself because guess what? That makes the people around me feel good. That lets people who experience me feel good. At the end of the day, I can always rest assured that just being a great, lovable person is all that you ever need to be. If we're human beings and we're made here to be loved and we want to be loved, why wouldn't we give it? So, with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Mouthy. Even when you what don't see me, you hear me. Next time, bye.